We're joined by a leading voice advocating for natural family planning. Dr. Marguerite Duane is a family physician and co-founder and executive director of FACTS, the Fertility Appreciation Collaborative to teach the science. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure that you had this experience, but Dr. Marianne Sora told Catherine that she was shocked. She did not learn about NAPRO in medical school. How are you working to educate the next generation of medical doctors on this?
Thank you so much for having me here. And yes, this is a major issue in lack of our medical education. At Facts About Fertility, our mission is to educate the next generation of medical professionals, starting with students and residents, about the science underlying fertility awareness-based methods. I myself never even heard the term NFP or fertility awareness or cervical mucus as a medical student. It wasn't until I was a resident at Lancaster General Hospital in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, when I first was exposed to the Creighton method. A decade later, as a faculty member at Georgetown University, I had the opportunity to offer a small group elective to 9 first-year medical students at Georgetown, and their response was overwhelmingly positive. This was the most clinically relevant information they had learned. It was practical. It was basic reproductive women's physiology. And one student was like, this is something every medical student should learn. And so we started FACTS, and that elective of 9 students has now grown exponentially. This year alone, we will educate almost 300 medical students from 99 different medical schools. And now we're looking to expand this education to nursing programs as well as residency programs. Again, to equip the next generation of medical professionals so they in turn can educate and support patients who are looking to address and manage their fertility by understanding it and working with their bodies.
It's really difficult, especially now when you see a growing number of students who are opting out of becoming OBGYNs and are lowering access to this kind of medical information, but also support from doctors. Dr. Duane, NFP can be used to identify and treat PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, as mentioned in the report. What are the other medical advantages to this?
Yeah, there are so many advantages to charting the female cycle using natural methods of family planning, or as we like to refer to them as fertility awareness-based methods, because it highlights this is so much more than simply family planning. This is understanding and addressing a wide range of women's health issues, including polycystic ovarian syndrome, premenstrual syndrome, endometriosis, painful periods, postpartum depression, infertility, and more. The reality is that the chart of the female cycle that women learn to create when they learn a natural method of family planning can actually serve as a 5th vital sign that even the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recognizes as a valuable tool in addressing women's health issues. So again, fertility awareness-based methods can be used to address a wide range of women's health issues. And when couples use it from a family planning perspective, it can help them to truly plan their families, whether they're trying to achieve a pregnancy or if they find it necessary to postpone or prevent a pregnancy using natural family planning.
Digging into what you just said about national medical associations, do you think that the medical community is becoming more accepting that fertility is a vital sign of a woman's health? And what are you seeing firsthand?
I'm definitely seeing it in the next generation. I mean, among my colleagues, we learned, and I learned, like Dr. Sora, that the birth control pill is the panacea for all that ails women. If she has irregular cycles, you put her on the pill. If she has painful periods, you put her on the pill. If she has acne, you put her on the pill. Well, what I later learned is that the pill does not actually treat the underlying causes of most of those conditions, but as Dr. Sora noted, is a Band-Aid, simply suppressing the cycle and not getting at the root cause. In the next generation of physicians, we are teaching them, and we are seeing students take our elective who are going into it because they're interested in women's health and they're interested in family medicine, not necessarily because they're Catholic or because they're doing it for faith-based reasons, but because they recognize that this is true women's health care. And so it is encouraging to see, again, our elective from 2018 to 2020, in a 2.5-year period, we had 120 medical students taking the elective. The next year, in the middle of the pandemic, because we were already poised to offer our education online, we doubled the number of students. And our numbers are only continuing to increase, not only through our electives, but also through our conferences and our CME course. So there's so many more physicians that we're seeing. Recently, we had a OBGYN physician who has been in practice for years in California sign up for our CME course and said he learned so much in that course that he never learned in his many years as a practicing OBGYN. So if doctors and medical professionals are open to this information, they can truly expand the options that they're offering women and really get at the root cause to restore the reproductive cycle to the way it's designed to function.
Well, that's really important in terms of what you're doing to give understanding and capacity to these doctors and student doctors. But what about the user? Women's Health Policy reports a 9% decrease in oral contraceptive use between the years of 2002 and 2017. And meanwhile, more and more natural fertility apps are being developed for women to use on their smartphones. What do these trends reveal to you about women who are looking for care? Are more women opting for natural fertility methods for reasons other than faith?
Absolutely. I would say women are waking up to the reality of their body, the way that it is designed, that our hormones are not a problem, and that taking synthetic hormones that can suppress and cause a wide range of issues. The reality is our reproductive hormones play an important role, not only in reproduction, but in our mental health and our overall health. And many women who have been on birth control find that it causes so many side effects that they don't want to do it anymore. So they're pursuing other avenues. Again, with fertility apps, as you noted, they are exploding. I think they're the second highest category of apps. And in fact, Facts About Fertility did a research study on fertility apps that we published in 2015. And we specifically looked at apps that were being marketed for women to use to prevent pregnancy. At that time, there were nearly 100 apps on the market. Now there are nearly 1,000 apps on the market. But the reality is, many of these apps are not evidence-based. They're not rooted in the medical science. And so I caution women, I tell them, buyer beware. And remember, women, you are smart. You are smarter than your smartphone. The best thing to do is to learn to chart your cycle with a trained instructor who can provide the appropriate guidance and instruction so that you can learn to interpret your biomarkers or those signs that you observe to indicate when you may be fertile and when you're not.
That's right.
An app can be a terrific tool to facilitate tracking, but really women should learn to interpret their signs and not rely on their phone to tell them when they may be fertile or not.
Right. Let the user be the one that actually leverages the technology. Well, doctor, thank you so much for this and for the great advice. We hope that this is useful for our viewers. Thank you.
Yes, we hope so too. And we welcome them to visit us at our website, factsaboutfertility.org, to learn more.
Absolutely.